because we have so many people on. If you want to, that's up to you. Okay. That's, like I said, it's up to you. WHGE 95.3 FM, the education advocacy station. Coming up, oh, the open eye. I think you had talked about Coco today. Yeah, I'm just here. I'm just here to explore. So are you going to have a show? Okay. All right. Hey, Sister Tracy. I'm going to get them started. All right. Theme music on? No. Song I wrote a long time ago. Yes.
What'd you play?
Guitar and keyboards.
Oh, okay. I was listening to what you had before. The instrumental of what was it that you just put? Instrumental.
Well, I'm going to get ready to get them started here. All right. This is my theme music. Those of us that indulge in work to make intellectual violence do so. Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM. I'm Patrice Gibbs, your third eye optometrist. Yes, indeed. Ready to get them started, Welcome to the show. I'm hoping that you're going to learn something today. All right, let me start off here because I'm not kidding around here. All right. Neutrality does not exist in our war. We are not here to play liberal. All that inclusive games. Either love your people and act accordingly or you do not. I'm going to say that a couple more times throughout the show. Okay, because I want that to hit home. All right. Something that came up today. Have you ever said, if I could show you what I see? It's not a statement born out of arrogance, but out of frustration. Sometimes out of excitement. Sometimes out of great concern. When you've been privileged to be able to hear the ancestors and they show you the view from the bridge, you will eventually tell someone, if I could tell you what I see. WHGE 95.3 FM, the Open Eye. I'm Patrice Gibbs. Any content provided by Open Eye host, guests, or contributors are there and are not intended to be live. Hey, Tracy. What's up, brother Steve? I see you. All right. You know, it's something that Europeans and Western powers have been involved in piracy and drug dealing for centuries. You know, I always like to give you a little history. Have you ever heard of the Opium Wars? The Opium Wars were two conflicts waged between China and the Western powers during the mid-19th century. The first Opium War was the government's campaign. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The first Opium War, was fought between 1839 and 1842 between China and the United Kingdom, and was triggered by the Chinese government's campaign to enforce its prohibition against opium trafficking by British merchants. They actually went to war against China so that they could continue to feed their populace with addictive opium. That was in 1839. And you're surprised that our U.S. government funneled crack into our communities? This is not nothing new to them. They waged a war, the Europeans. The Second Opium War, waged by Britain and France against China from 1856 to 1860. In each war, the superior military advantages enjoyed by the European forces led to several easy victories over the Chinese military. And the consequences that China was compelled to sign unequal treaties to grant favorable tariffs, trade concessions, reparations, and territory to Western powers. The two conflicts, along with the various treaties imposed during century of humiliation, weakened the Chinese government's authority and forced China to open specified treaty ports, including Shanghai, to Western merchants. In addition, China ceded sovereignty over Hong Kong to the British Empire, which maintained control over the region until 1997. During this period, the Chinese economy also contracted slightly as a result of the wars, though the Taiping Rebellion and Dungan Revolt had a much larger economic effect. The point is, these people had been criminal from the time they met other people. You ever wonder why the Western powers, why Europeans are so warlike? You have to understand the environment from which they hail. Okay, look, when you're in a place where your whole life, your whole society is based on survival, where you have to worry about your needs, it gives you a certain mindset. It gives you a certain level of competition. Because if you live in a place where the ice age is, okay, if you live in a place where harvest only comes for a short time during the year, what your main concern is survival. And you have to worry about whether the next person or your neighbor is going to take what's yours. But when you live in a land of plenty, then what happens is you are able to pursue higher activities, higher level of activities, instead of war and competition and what have you. There's a difference between Africa and European. This is the difference. Because the African lived in a society of plenty. So they were able to pursue mathematics, philosophy, science, and a higher level of spirituality. Okay? Understand something, be clear about something. The Europeans did not indulge in the solar cults. Okay? They are not children of the sun. You look at their gods, okay, from European mythology, Zeus and Odin, and these were storm gods. They were grateful to them for blocking out the sun. I'm Patrice Gibbs, WHGE 95.3 FM, the open eye. Yes, indeed. Hope you're learning something today. Give me a second here. I'll take a quick musical break. All right. what we gonna do here? Speaking of storms, this is Good Storm by Patrice Gibbs. All right. All right, all right. Respect, Tracy. WHGE 95.3 FM, the open eye. Ring the bell, children, schools are in. You know what? Let me tell y'all something. Okay. These people are not invincible. Don't get caught up in conspiracy theories. And stop calling global white supremacy the Illuminati, which means the enlightened ones. There's nothing enlightened about these people. Stop making global white supremacy some spooky, all-powerful, insurmountable entity. It is not. Global white supremacy is a bunch of evil, psychotic white men who robbed and murdered their way to wealth and power. They are not insurmountable. They can and must be destroyed. The thing is, the situation is becoming urgent before they destroy the world. I'm Patrice Gibbs, the third eye optometrist. Yes, indeed. You know, let me bring this up here. It was this week, what's the day? The day is the 22nd. Okay. 52 years ago, on October 15th, Dr. Huey P. Newton. They don't tell you that. That Huey P. Newton had a PhD in sociology and psychology. Dr. Huey P. Newton and Bobby Seale founded the Sons of Malcolm, now known as the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense. Now, by the end of 1968, the Black Panther Party had established 38 chapters and branches, claiming more than 5,000 members. The first chapter outside of California, as well as the longest running in Seattle, Washington, was disbanded in 1977. Although Seattle continued the free breakfast programs and the medic clinics. Okay. I hear comparisons of the Black Panther Party to the KKK. I'll be damned. You know what? Show me the strange fruit that the Black Panther Party left behind. What am I talking about? Strange fruit. Those of you that know Billie Holiday know what I'm talking about. Show me the bodies of the white people that the Black Panther Party lynched. If you can't, shut the hell up. See, these people making these claims are the same people who threw rocks at Ruby Bridges for trying to go to school in 1960 and are now upset that their grandchildren might learn about them throwing rocks at Ruby Bridges for trying to go to school. You know what? Let me ask you some Caucasian associates. You ever ask your parents or grandparents if they attended a lynching? You ever ask your parents or grandparents if they were involved in cannibalism? Because guess what? Those lynchings weren't just about killing. Okay? It was about the oppression and the horror that they inflicted on our people to keep us down. Mm-hmm. You know what? Imagine if you're not scared of death. You're not going to be a good slave. And this is one of the reasons Christianity preached suicide as a sin. Yeah. One of the reasons that you get your reward. You get your reward in the afterlife. But only if you're a good slave. It is really a science of the spirit. And that is the reason that they demonize spiritual systems like voodoo or voodoo. The demonization was intentional because they wanted to separate us from the very thing that gave us power. Let's be clear. See, a lot of African spiritual systems believe in what we call transmigration of the soul. So they believe that the soul is eternal. This was very problematic for people that wanted to enslave us. Before we even get to Haiti, in Africa itself, there are copious records consistently. I'd rather be dead than be a slave. Speaking of Haiti, it's something that is amazing, the power of propaganda. Because even now, many of our people believe that Haiti was actually cursed. This is propaganda that was put forth by the Europeans who feared Haiti. Why? Because Haiti is the site of the first and only successful revolution in history. Successful slave revolution. Haitians won their independence from France in 1804 and immediately abolished slavery, becoming the first place in the world to do so. It was also the first state to outlaw racism in its constitution. Haiti was a beacon of light for the world, and it was punished for it. It was punished over and over again by France, by the US, through series of coups, invasions, occupations, and assassinations, through relentless meddling and crushing death. Did you know that the US actually invaded Haiti? Was it like 1919? It was the early 1900s. They invaded Haiti and robbed their bank of their gold. That's not a military coup. That's a bunch of criminals that went into a country backed by their army and actually robbed that country. They were determined that this beacon of freedom would be extinguished because it presented a bold challenge to the dread logic of capital and empire. But the Haitian people kept fighting through. Theirs is a light that never goes out, and it is still being punished. If Haiti is a mess, and it is, then Europe and the US are to blame. If we want to support the Haitian people, and we should stand up with them against the US, the world's bully, and tell them to get the hell out of Haiti now. I'm Patrice Gibbs. This is the Open Eye. WHGE 95.3 FM, Patrice Gibbs, your third eye optometrist. I told you that I was going to tell you this a few times. Okay? Neutrality does not exist in our war. We're not here to play liberal, all-inclusive games. Either you love your people and act accordingly, or you do not. The door will lock. All right, all right. Brother Nsoromma in the house getting set up. We're going to keep it going here. You know, it's amazing that, how can I say, we are not listened to, especially not our women. Okay? The powers that be, there was no credibility. How often have we seen situations where, oh, you coming? How often have we seen situations where Black people have called the cops because they had some legal problem, and they wound up being killed by the very people that are supposed to serve and protect? How many times have we seen that? One of the things I told you about a couple of weeks ago was that to Black women, the medical field is to Black women what law enforcement is to Black men. It's very dangerous for you. All right. Now, when White women come up missing, they have a thing, what is it called, the Amber Alert? And they want the case. When Black women come up with missing, it was probably their fault, but they just ran off. That's the mindset. That's the mindset of law enforcement. Case in point, Kansas City. Kansas City had a problem with missing Black women. And when it was reported to them, Kansas City police insisted that rumors of serial killer targeting Black women were false. Now that a kidnapped Black woman has been found, the story is not as cut and dry. They said it was false. All right. In the house, Nsoromma. Good morning, my brother. Yeah. All right. Ciao, ciao. Hello, Ruth. How are you? All right. We have an observer in the house. Right. That's right. That's D. Now, on October 7th, a terrified 22-year-old Black woman escaped from a home in Excelsior Springs. This is in Kansas City. She told police she had been locked up there for about a month after being abducted from Prospect Avenue in Kansas City by a man who lives in the home. The man, Timothy N. Haslett Jr., age 39, is now in custody, facing charges of rape, kidnapping, and assault in Clay County. The woman told neighbors and police that she was restrained in a small room in Haslett's basement, where he repeatedly raped, beat, and tortured her. She managed to escape when he took his elementary age son to school. The women told her neighbor and police something else. There were other victims, women who didn't make it out. But the press went along with what the police said and said there's no evidence that this actually took place when it was initially reported. It took the Kansas City Defender, a Black-owned news publication, which would publish a video of Bishop Tony Caldwell, community and church leader, alerting the public of assertions that at least several Black girls and women are missing from Prospect Avenue corridor. And the police said this was false. So they had no intention of going after this rapist, kidnapper, and murderer.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because it was one of their nephews or one of their sons or one of their sister's kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'd be going, that's going on right now.
Yeah.
For real. In the Atlanta area, in Chicago, or something like that. That still exists right now.
Right now. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Really? You know, the woman's emergence and her story of being abducted in Kansas City has roiled Black leaders and residents. They contend that events are proof that the police don't take reports of missing Black women seriously, and that mainstream news outlets are too quick to accept the police version of events. All right? And the other side of that, Nsoromma just broke down for you. All right? because they lack any integrity. See, we like this. If you do something in our community, we're likely to police your sorry ass.
We need to police our own community anyway, and kick them out of our community anyway, because they don't benefit our community with their policing.
No, they don't.
You know, and that's what makes it sad.
Mm-hmm.
The first police that came after us had that same badge, which was a slave police.
Right.
So
slave control.
What would make you think that they thinking different right now in 2022? I would think it's worse for it.
That's what
You know, and that's crazy.
Yes, it is. It's absolutely nuts.
That's like my boy Vaughn said. That's nasty.
Yes, Lord. That's what it is. Now we're gonna move on to what Malcolm calls falling fruit. But let me give you a quote from Malcolm. Sometimes a fruit falls from a tree and rolls so far away from its roots that it's no longer of the tree. The hard fall and long journey bruises the fruit so much that it totally changes it. It's the same way for some of our people. This is why some can't be awakened regardless of how much truth you present to them. This journey has totally brainwashed them to a degree that they are no longer of the original truth. I'll bring that up, and I get that quote from Malcolm for a specific reason.
And what's that, my brother?
Kanye West.
Oh, that's right. I mean, when you, this is what I see in Mr. West.
Oh, you know what? What mic are you on here? You got the black mic?
This is what I see in Mr. West.
Okay.
Oh, we have. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You can cut it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This sound. But all in all, Mr. West is telling the truth.
About what?
About everything.
We get a battle, brother.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
I'm a black man,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have as much money as he has,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't be in the places that he be in. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the money-making people that's running America, he stands next to them because they thought at that time he was a coon and he wasn't going to come out and expose them. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So he like the spook that sat by the door. You understand? And okay, he got enough money now to say whatever he wants,
Mm-hmm.
and to build whatever he wants,
Mm-hmm.
and to do this himself. So he don't need no one to make business decisions and transactions and stuff. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm exposing you on, okay, you don't like my people and you want to use me to go after my people to keep them poor, I'm not with that. So if I'm not with that, now I'm being blackballed. You connected to everybody that I've grown to know and be with and make this billion with. I made so much money with you that you told JP Morgan to take my money out the bank. Now, this is the society we working with. We poor. This is a man that's 1 billion, 11 billion. They don't even want to give you the number that the guy make. So, I mean, keeping us in this box and going against each other, I don't care what he's saying and how he's not getting along with people. He's saying what the black people is going through, and I'm feeling him and what he's saying.
Okay.
And so that's where I lie at. I'm like, it ain't a side, it's a reality for me because
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling it. I'm that person he's talking about.
Okay. Let me tell you something, brother. Kanye West is the ultimate seller. Okay? Kanye West came out with the shirt White Lives Matter. Kanye West, wait, I'll let you say your piece. You hear me out here. All right? Yes, White Lives Matter. Okay? Okay? But here's the problem with that. Okay? Because when they say white lives matter, what they mean is only white lives matter. Okay? When we said Black Lives Matter, we said Black Lives Matter also, which is something that they do not understand. Okay? For Kanye West to come out with White Lives Matter, okay, here's the thing. When we said Black Lives Matter, they said all lives matter. Okay? And they did not mean us. So now they said white lives matter. You hear anybody say all lives matter? After Kanye West came out with his t-shirt, White Lives Matter? No. See, what he is doing is he is appealing to his new base. Because ain't no black people buying no White Lives Matter t-shirts. Ain't no black people buying no stupid ass book and sneakers he is producing. His new economic base, his customer base is now white supremacy. Okay? Yes, it is. It's absolutely true. Wait, let me finish. I'm not finished. Okay? Like I said, he is the ultimate sellout. He has made more money now than ever. Okay? And don't give me this crap about it.
Is it about money?
It is about money. It's absolutely about money. He don't give a damn about black people. He got on TV when the Hurricane Katrina came up. Let me finish. He came on and said, George Bush don't give a damn about black people. And here that's true. Okay, he's not lying. He was not lying, but here's the thing. He joined the other team for money. This cat is the reason why someone like myself is mad now.
Oh, I mean.
Okay, because if we came to the revolution today, Kanye West is one of the first people that I would take out. Because he was a traitor to our people. And look who he showed up with.
I don't see that when he's
absolutely a traitor.
When he's talking, he's not talking trade. When I'm listening to him, you hearing something different or something? What you're saying. You don't understand. He's not going up there and saying, all black people should go this way. What are you talking about?
He's not saying this. He is giving black people the example.
We need to get our own.
He don't give a damn about us getting our own.
Oh, okay.
He got his. He won't give a damn.
You on something else.
Listen, no, I'm not on something else. Here's the thing.
Here's the same thing. We're not listening to the same thing.
He's nothing but a con man. Anybody that would sell a plain white t-shirt with nothing on it for $50 is nothing but a goddamn con man.
That's a genius.
That's not genius. That's not genius. That's con people.
They selling Prada, Reeboks, everything. He's competing in the corporate
and who is his customer?
World. It's a business. And every decision that he makes is a business strategic move. Do you see that or not?
No, I do not.
What's going on? I just seen a documentary on the business of the entertainment business. We don't know about it because we're not in it.
Yes, but we do know about it.
We're not in it till the levels to this.
It might be levels to this thing, but if there's also levels to selling our people out. If you gain, how do you sell our people out by selling a show? Totally not understanding
soldiers with the other side sometimes.
No. You don't go fight
forever, man.
Yes, you can. This is a fight to the death.
How do we get the earth to? How do the earth to exist if we keep fighting forever, man? And we have to come to a conclusion to talk to each other. We have to. If we don't, it's going to be the end. And I'm not ready for the end. Okay. If I can't sit and talk to you, and we come to an agreement, you stay over your side, I stay on my side. It's not, I got rice for sale, and you got beans for sale, and you white, and I'm black. That don't mean nothing because we're still making the cycle of the world go around, man.
The cycle of the world goes around because we are dealing with what? No. Let me run these quotes again.
Every black person in the world is not a bad person. And every black person in the world is not going to kill you. Okay, when you get out of the brain thinking of that, and that when you look at a black person, they don't have a gun, they're not going to kill you, or they're not going to mess with you. And we as black people get out of the thought of, oh, this white person is going to hang me, he want to kill me, cook my kids, whatever it is that's bad. Yeah, okay, that's been going on for 200 years. Where is the end? Where is the link? Where is the plan?
Let me tell you where the end is. I'm going to tell you where the end is.
I don't want that die. I don't want my kids to die. I don't want my kids to be in the way.
Let me tell you where the end is. See, hold on, brother, because you're approaching this not intellectually, but emotionally. And when you approach it emotionally, the intellectual observation goes down. Okay? What did I say earlier? This is why I brought this quote. Okay. Neutrality does not exist in our war. We are not here to play liberal, inclusive games. Either you love your people and act accordingly, or you do not. Kanye West does not act accordingly. And then we have these people that think, that when we have these people that think global white supremacy is insurmountable or some spooky or powerful entity. It is not. This is why I call, no, they're not only human. Okay? These are a bunch of pirates and crooks.
Oh, but they're only human. They can die.
Exactly. That's my point. That's why I say they are not insurmountable. And they can and must be destroyed.
But that ain't
the thing is the situation. You know how many times? Right? No, how many times have we covered how many times? You like 900 white people that are good and 100 white people that are crap. I'm going to trust the 900 white people that are good to protect me against that 100 that want to kill me. I don't think so. I don't think so. Why not? Because I'm Mal. What is Mal? I mean, Mal killed the first person next to you if they twist over to the wrong side. I mean, which is why Kanye West. Okay, this is what and not only that, but look who Kanye West showed up with. One of the worst, notorious European big lynchers in our history. And Candace Owens. Yeah, you won. Okay. You won. You won. WHGE. Yeah, WHGE. 95.3 FM. Going on. That's what I'm going to do. Say shit, man. That thing was good. Hey, yo, Arnold, get your chest game up, too. Don't be playing, bro. All right. The tourist, okay. Tell something about the police. Okay. Hey, Patrice Gibbs. All right, and our observer Ruth in the house. Welcome. Hope you're enjoying the show here. Okay. I want to ask a question on Facebook earlier this week. And I asked, are you a person of color or are you black? Okay. I won't play that person of color crap. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when they say people of color, they don't mean us. Okay? When they say people of color, they mean Asian people, Hispanic people, okay? People with a touch of color. With a touch of color. And be careful of those people that can well and only want to cry brotherhood when it's convenient for them. Okay? I think two of the worst groups that have done that and fooled us with that crap have been Hispanic people and Arabs. Okay? They will cry brotherhood. Oh yeah, right on, we people of color together and all this, that, together. As long as it benefits them. I mean, people only do what benefits them anyway. That don't even have a color, so that's just real. You know what I mean? You know, people of color include one-eyed, one-horned, purple dotted people either, and they don't like black people. All right, case in point. All right, are the Latinos in LA? Right. Okay, where the president and some of her cronies had to resign because of the egregious statements they made against black people, calling a black child a monkey and an accessory for his white adopted parent. But this is how they already look at us. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. You can be the smartest black person, and you can be dressed up to the T, going by their code and everything, and you're still stigmatized. Yes. Yeah. So if we're dealing with this at all times, every black person, right, at all times, how is that going to change? We have to make a change. Okay, we have to start by making a change. We have to start working among ourselves because they're not going to change. No. So if we don't
take and get our own banks, get our own grocery stores, get our own insurance companies, get our own things that matter to our people, which I don't see nobody doing. I don't see nobody talking about. I don't see nobody putting effort into, putting in a position or a program to make this type of thing take place. Not even no black people, nobody that's on our team is doing that. Is even thinking like that. So what I was saying is that war that you saying we fighting, the Mau that you killing everybody. And that's not it. The Mau thing is not going to work.
Yes,
Because it's eliminating us.
Okay.
We have to build, my brother.
Okay.
The mind, I can feel something. You can change my mind. I can come in here thinking, okay, like the snake thing. It's one 300 snakes and 90 of them good. Okay. And I was saying this is how the mind thinks. The mind can change. You can change your mind anytime. You can. Okay. And we don't act like you can make a mistake.
No.
There's no mistakes no more.
Your mistake is not about mistakes. It's about whether you sell your people out.
And that's the mistake. I mean,
no, that's more than a mistake. That's more than a mistake. Selling your people out means that you profit at the expense of your people. If you do that, okay, you don't deserve my love and protection.
I mean,
okay, wait a minute, let me finish. If you got a barrel of apples, all right, and one of the apples is bad, if you don't take out the spoiled apple, it's going to spoil me. See, this is the ideal that they understand. Those that we are at war with, okay? Because you know what the saying was about Malcolm and Martin? Right. If we don't get rid of them, they're going to spoil many. They're going to influence those that have that revolutionary mindset that this can actually be done, okay? Here's the thing, which is why I've been bringing it up for the last 2 weeks, okay? Remember, when black people ruled the world,
right?
Okay? It was a hell of a lot better place. Everybody ate. Because why? Okay? Because the African mindset, the African understanding of Ubuntu, yeah. I am because we are. Right. Okay? We don't go around and build a fancier table. We build a bigger table. So see, all people like some more can fit. All people like Kanye West do is build a fancier table and exclude other people. Okay, for the approval of the oppressor. This is a sellout of the lowest order and nothing but detriment to our people. Global African stuff. I'm not saying detrimental stuff to our people. This guy got on and said George Floyd, he is being sued for $250 million by George Floyd's family. Why? Okay. Why? Wait. No.
I don't want to go past. Go ahead. So let me make this statement. You have the freedom of speech. You can say what you want.
Okay, freedom of speech comes with responsibility. You cannot hire fire in a crowded theater.
That ain't what I said. You have the freedom of speech. You can say what you want, and you take it how you want. We do it all the time. So, in saying that, okay, and the lowest thing that you can do, you might get emotional, like you said. All of that may go down. It's still freedom of speech.
Okay, like I said,
he can do what he wants. That's what
freedom of speech comes with responsibility. Okay, you can say what the hell you want, but no, there's going to be consequences for what you say. Right. You can't just get up and say anything and not expect consequences. That's a fool. That's a damn fool. So he gets up and says, oh no, he didn't beat up.
I don't do anything to get consequences against us.
That may be so. Okay? We're talking about freedom of speech. That's what you brought up, freedom of speech. So he had the freedom to get up and say George Floyd was not killed by the cops.
You know why I said that?
Yeah, because he's a damn fool and a traitor. No, I know the story that's going around. The story that's going around is that Candace Owens, a notorious European business, made a documentary that said that George Floyd was not a hero. Maybe he wasn't a hero, but when he was not, excuse me, when he was not, was deserving of death. When he was not, was the perpetrator of his own death. See, what these crazy people do is they blame the victim for the plight that had put on them from the oppressor.
You said this man.
Yeah, well,
he said that, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
How many years ago?
He said that 50, 60 years ago, and we're still living with that reality.
And it's still going on right there, bro.
Right now.
Wow.
Right now.
Wow.
Kanye West said George Floyd died from fentanyl.
Everybody
saw the guys
that's what the police reports are saying.
That's what the reports are saying. Are you going to believe the police report? Are you going to believe the police reports or your own eyes?
No, that ain't
Everybody in the world.
That ain't what I said. Listen, I said, okay, we're going after Kanye for saying that he didn't die from that point, right? Mm-hmm. But the real culprit, like I say again, is we're only fighting the surface. The real culprit is the police officers that wrote in there that the fentanyl killed them. When they're the real culprit. The real culprit lies behind who we're arguing about.
He agreed with it. That's the problem. Nobody agreed with it. Kanye West did. Kanye West said, he said that George Floyd died from fentanyl. And that's what happened. When the whole damn world saw him murdered on video. Right. Okay? So Kanye West did that for attention, and he's a goddamn sellout. This man, you know what? If he came to my barbecue, he can't show up at my barbecue. Okay? His ass on grill. Yeah, you might have to, because his ass will be on grill. Yeah.
Listen, man. Don't let these little distractions take us from the main cause and the main culprit. Mm-hmm. He's only that pawn, dog. He's a pawn in this chess game that we're playing. Mm-hmm. You have to understand, in the game of chess, I'm gonna sit stuff in front of you that takes you, distract you to death, so I can bang you upside your head.
Let me tell you this. Some potential fraud called on the thing. Here's the thing.
Call it, try to
maybe so. Here's the thing. You ever play chess with a pigeon?
A pigeon? Yeah.
I advise you not to. No. You know why I would advise you not to? Because they crap all over the goddamn board and they strut around like they want. Okay? So when you get someone like Kanye West, who you say is a pawn, but they have turned into a bishop, all right, you're playing chess with a pigeon. You know what? Let me tell you something. Dr. King quote. Dr. King quote.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Mm-hmm. You hear that, Kanye?
Hey, yo, something.
Hey. You know, we're coming around.
Did he make any good points to you? That's what I mean.
Kanye? Yeah. No. Not one.
He didn't make one good point to you.
You know what? A broken clock is right twice a day.
Okay. Oh, so he had to make 2 good points. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
But a broken clock with no hands is never right. Yeah. You know, see, this is the thing. All right, we come around to the close of the show here. All right. I will not forgive willful ignorance. Okay. I saw a man who was asked how he could justify voting for these corrupt people as bad as things are in his own community. He said he didn't mind if it hurt him as long as it didn't hurt them. That is ignorance and hate on a level that is unforgivable. I will not forgive those that turn a blind eye to injustice. I will not forgive those that are dishonest about racism and bigotry and behave as if I am wrong for exposing. I will not forgive those who continue to attempt to turn back the clock on civil rights and constantly reinforce the structural impediments that still block my people from being free. I will not forgive anyone that thinks a teenage boy got what was coming to him because he was murdered decided he didn't know his place, because his murderer decided he didn't know his place. I will not forgive anyone who has a problem with me being outwardly black. I refuse to sing Kumbaya by myself with people who have declared me and mine their enemy. I will not forgive anyone who has the paternal arrogance to tell me how I should think and feel about this. See, I've seen man's inhumanity to man way too close up and personal, right? God forgives, I don't. Yeah, that's go to hell. Oh, I missed that book, y'all. This is Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM. And as we always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays. Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority. Who treat you as an option. WHGE 95.3 FM. Open Eye on Patrice Gibbs.
Hey, yo, Javon, why you talking like that, man? I know, man. Hey, Tracy Lewis, talented people. Yo, y'all stupid, yo. The voice not today. I'm telling y'all, hey, yo, thanks for tuning in. Nsoromma streaming on platforms. You dig, yo,
Yo, Open Eye. GAS. Global African Supremacy. Take that home.